Hello, everyone. This is ANEEL KHOWAJA. I'm a registered migration agent and co-founder TK Consultants. Today, we'll be discussing about the regional migration. So, lots of people have lots of questions regarding what exactly the regional migration is, what would be the benefits if we go to a regional area, how quicker it is to get the permanent residency through the regional pathway, and what are the other benefits. So first and foremost, what exactly these days are going is Australian government is mainly focusing on regional uh, movement, regional migration, and they are mainly focusing for you guys to stay, live, and study in the regional area in order to get the direct permanent residency, but also in order to ensure that the maximum amount of people are now going to regional area to make that area happening. So you'll get the advantages of both worlds. You would be able to come to Australia. You can live to a place which government is really focusing on. Plus, you will able to apply for permanent residency quicker than those who are studying or living in main cities like Melbourne, Sydney, or Brisbane. Now, what are the regional areas? So, as per the Department of Home Affairs, they have divided regional areas into the postcodes. Now there are also what is designated areas as well. So there are lots of designated areas within different states, and you need to then segregate as per the postcodes given on the Department of Home Affairs website. Now, lots of states are itself a whole region, just like Northern Territory or Tasmania or Western Australia. So ACT, South Australia. So the whole states, mainly most of the postcodes are considered to be regional areas. And that's where these states have given different sort of benefits to lots of students and to the work visa holders to apply for a permanent residency or be that regional area their first home. सो सबसे पहले हम ऑब्वियसली इन स्टेट्स के बारे में बात करेंगे सो वन बाय वन विल गो टू द स्टेट्स व्हाट वुड बी द बेनिफिट्स एंड देन विल टेक इट फ्रॉम देयर सो लेट्स डू सबसे पहले नॉर्दर्न टेरिटरी so Northern Territory is a beautiful regional area. Capital is Darwin. What they have two streams where they get the permanent residency pathway. First is obviously a study stream where you need to study there for 2 years. And after 2 years, agar aap 6 months or NT mein reh jate hain and you have full working rights, then you can apply for 190. Whereas if you don't have 6 months or 1 year of visa left and you can't stay further in NT, then you can apply for 491 as well. Both options are pretty good. And as far as students are concerned, those who already have a skill assessment, for instance, an engineer from Pakistan who has the degree recognized from Washington Accord under the 476 visa, they come here, they can straight away go to Darwin, study there for 2 years, and straight away apply for 190. So that is another option. They do have it, or 491. Depends on if they have the another 6 months visa left, or otherwise they should apply for a 408 visa or any alternate visa in order to go for the 190. Otherwise, 491 would be definitely there. Same goes with the work stream. So Northern Territory also have a work stream where if you work there for 6 months full time and you are not on a student visa, they can give you a 491 nomination. But the work needs to be into your nominated occupation where your skill assessment is done. Sometimes they do consider if you're working in a critical sector or in the Northern Territory skill occupation list. The best part about the NT is, which is why this is my favorite state, that their list is huge. So they follow the big MLTSSL list that contains 600 occupations around there. So if you have a skill assessment around any of these, then you would able to get 491, 190 quite easily, no issues at all. This was for the NT. If you have any questions, you can put it on the comment box specifically regarding any of the state. I'm more than happy to assist you, no matter the situation is currently applicable to you or not. But again, I'm more than happy to answer you. Now, the second state is the South Australia. Now, South Australia also promotes regional study and also live and work in South Australia. Now, if you have skill assessment similar to Northern Territory, and if you stay in a regional South Australia, because now we need to also understand the South Australian dynamics. South Australia has segregated South Australia into two different parts by themselves. As per the department, their whole region, but again, for the South Australian government, they have divided into two parts: Greater Adelaide and Outer Regional South Australia. So, for instance, if you are in an outer regional South Australia, living there for 1 year and working 20 hours per week for whole 1 year, then you would able to apply for 491, subject to if your occupation in their list. So your occupation needs to be in their list. So no matter what, you need to pray that your occupation don't go out of the list if you're going with this type of exemption where you don't need to work in a nominated occupation. Whereas other options are in region or in Greater Adelaide, where you can work for 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, or 24 4 months, depends on your occupation. You're able to grab 490 or 190, depends on the full time and part time work. Now, second stream, they do have it like if you study anywhere in South Australia for minimum 1 year, sorry, I believe there is a connection issue is there. We'll take a short break. After the break, I'll continue with the South Australian option for you. Think High Consultants. We are registered education and migration consultants, offer following services: student visas, admissions, change of course of provider, skilled migration visas, temporary activity visas, employer sponsored visas, partner visas, parent visas, health cover for all types of visas, visitor tourist visas, business visas, NATI CCL preparation classes, professional year programs, IELTS and PT classes, coaching programs for new education and migration agents, and many more.
Contact Think Higher Consultants to provide personalized and on-spot services leads to permanent visa pathways and Australian citizenship. Facebook/Think Higher Consultants. Twitter/Think Higher House. Instagram/Think Higher Consultants.
Alrighty, welcome back, guys. So I have a couple of Alrighty. So I was talking about the 1 year study. So if you have done 1 year study in Adelaide, and after that, if you work for 3 months in your nominated occupation, then you would able to apply for either a 491 or 190, depends on your occupation. Generally, you will get a 491. But if you study for 2 years there, and then you're able to work for another 3 months, then there is most likely you will get the 190. On the other hand, there are some other streams as well, like the work stream, where you need to, as I told you, you need to work in a nominated occupation for 6 months or 12 months or 18 months, depends on your occupation. You need to check the South Australian skill occupation list for that one. That will lead you to apply for 190 or 491. Let's take few questions. So I'll take first from Rekha Kumari. She's asking, hi, the recent announcement extending TR says anyone who was outside or on TR between Feb 2020 till December 2021 will be given replacement visa. I was outside Australia for 1 month from 15 Feb 2020 to 15 March 2020 and returned back. If I'm eligible for replacement TR visa as well. All right, Rekha, there is one thing which I need to clarify here. There is no policy like they have clearly mentioned whether they're going to give a replacement visa those who are offshore or not, because lots of TR recently been granted have an opportunity. If they're offshore, they need to come down and their TR is going to start from that day onwards. But those who have missed the TRs during the last 2 years, they'll definitely get the replacement visa. That My perspective is, or what my understanding is, the minister is going to grant for both onshore and offshore. So the policy still needs to come in July. They've already announced, but they're going to give the replacement visa from July onwards. So stay tuned. What my, again, I'll tell my perception that it's going to be for both onshore and offshore. And mark my words, I'll be repeating this one if that happens. So yeah, stay tuned. Sonam Kapoor is asking, hi, I got my Victorian 190 pre-invite on 6th December, submitted all documents the same week. Still waiting for full invite. Any rough idea about the processing time these days? Did the Christmas holidays slow down the process? Yes. So during the Christmas time and New Year's time, the Victorian government was off for some around 18 to 20 days. So all the invites which were being given before the Christmas, like I think last invitation round was happened on 21st or 22nd of December. They're all waiting. Those have already lodged, submitted their pre-invite documentation. I believe you need to wait another 3 4 weeks because they're gonna wrap up, I think, the last round by end of Feb or first week of March. So still there's plenty of days available. Make sure you have informed to employers or whatever information you have put that needs to be verified because Victorian state do call to their employers. So generally, if you have got an invite, obviously you'd have a job in the nominated or target sector where you applied for that ROI. So make sure that your employers are well aware, or if there is a call from Victorian State, you should take those calls. Yeah. So let's get back to the state options. So we have covered the South Australia. Now we would be going towards the Tasmania. Lots of heaps of people were last 2 years back went to Tasmania. So Tasmania has two options, either 1 year study or 2 year study. 2 year study is pretty much the same like NT. You have to study, you could need to have a skill assessment, and then you can straight away apply. Tasmania do not have any policy that you must need to stay another 6 months. But the more visa you have it, the better opportunity they feel like that you would get a 190 in Tasmania and will stay in Tasmania. Whereas second option for Tasmania is to work in a nominated occupation for 6 months or go up to 1 year. So if you are in a priority list which they have given for their target sector, if you work there for 6 months, then you would able to apply for 190. I've got two 190 last week, one for hotel and motel manager, and other one for the chef. They were working in Tasmania for last 6 months full time on TR. So you can see, and one girl was working on a student visa, but since she can work full time on a chef, then the Tasmania has invited her for 190. So these are the options you have it for the study. Whereas for the work, I already told you. So for the study, I've already told you 1 year 491, 2 year 190, or otherwise you work for 6 months in a nominated occupation to apply for 190. Sometimes they do give you 491 as well instead of 190 if you're not falling under the priority list. But then again, you need to put a career plan, you need to put a genuine intention to stay in Tasmania in order to get a 491 or 190 because they are very particular in terms of putting up the statement. So statements are very important. Rekha and Sonam, if you have any other question, you can ask. We'll take a quick break. After the break, I'll take more comments and then we'll come up to the Queensland, Victoria, and New South Wales region options for you.
Student visa. Is it your dream to study abroad, especially in Australia? Don't worry, we are here to assist you and guide you with your study visa process. Being MARA approved professional education visa consultants, we ensure you with maximum support and supervision.
Contact Think Higher Consultants at thinkhigher.com.au.
Alrighty, so welcome back, guys. So we'll be talking about the Queensland now. So Queensland also have uh, at the moment it's have the target sectors. They don't focus much on the study. So even though if you have study, you need to meet their 3 months and 6 months target sector work requirements for 491 and 190. So Queensland is relatively not very good for the regional study work. Yes, if you have worked in the critical sector in Queensland for last 3 months and you have got your skill assessment done, then you would able to apply for 491. Recently, we have got one of the skill assessment done as a vet sector teacher, and he was working there for last 3 months on a student visa doing a master research in Queensland. He went from Victoria to Queensland, and now he has got a 491. He was 43 years old and few days left into the 44. So before that, we have got it. So we emailed to Queensland to expedite his application, and they have invited. So that's the glad part, that Queensland do accept lots of email invitations or email requests if needed be. Apart from that, if you go to the New South Wales do have an option for the study for 2 years. The New South Wales said that whatever you study, it needs to be relevant to your, skill nominated uh, or occupation or your skill assessment. So, for instance, if you're an IT professional, you need to study 2 years diploma in advanced diploma of IT with the full skill assessment in hand, and then you're able to apply for 491. You must need to study and live in regional New South Wales, not in CBD or nearby to Sydney suburbs. It has to be regional New South Wales. It's the most easiest pathway to get the 491. But again, there are very less colleges in the regional area for New South Wales, and you need to be very specific in terms of choosing the college. We have heaps options, so you should contact us. My team is happy to guide you through the New South Wales region options in order to get the 491. Rest New South Wales have round every quarter or every 2 months where you have worked in the nominated occupation or have lived for 1 year in that regional area. They inviting you for 491 depending on if your occupation in that list. Now, if you have any questions, you can put it in the comment box. Otherwise, I'll go to, I think we have missed ACT, so we'll go to the ACT regional area options for you, and then we'll wrap up this live meeting. So any questions, just put that onto the comment box. I'll take a quick break again, and then I'll take the questions, and then we'll wrap up with the ACT options.
Are you a recent engineering graduate and dreaming to get an experience of working, living, and studying in Australia for up to 18 months? We are here to assist you in fulfilling your wish. We will guide you with your skilled recognized graduate visa, subclass 476, process.
Contact Think Higher Consultants at thinkhigher.com.au.
Alrighty, welcome back. So we'll go with the ACT. The ACT has its own regional metrics. So obviously you need to meet the matrix points requirement. At the moment it's 65 to 80 points. They're fluctuating in there. But they're also inviting if you have minimum 65 points and your occupation is in their critical list. So they keep changing the critical list every now and then. So you need to ensure that you have best possible or updated list with you. If you work there for 3 months and live there for 3 months, and in your nominated occupation, you work there for 3 months, 20 hours per week, still they consider you 491. But if you work there for 6 months full time in your nominated occupation, then you can apply for 190. They're very particular about the bank statement, so you have to show each and every entry into the ACD. You need to make sure that at least you have all 6 months pay slips, all 6 months residential proof, because they don't request any additional documents. So once they are not satisfied, they will reject your application. And generally, their application fee is around $300. So you'll waste the application fee if you're not able to apply proper ACD application. So, guys, this is all from my side. Again, if you have any questions, you can ask me right now. Otherwise, I'll wrap up this live. Thank you so much for joining us today. Inshallah, we'll see you next time with few more updates regarding the permanent residency, invitation rounds, and all those stuff. Yep. So have a great day. Cheers. Bye.